Hey everybody, my name's Steve. This is my first YouTube video, trying to make an instructional video to help improve the average surfer's surfing. Certainly, I'm using this as a way to improve my own surfing, having a real dive into what I'm doing when I'm surfing and what I can do to improve my surfing. So a little bit about me. I'm 42 years old. I'm in reasonable shape. But I live about an hour away from the sea. My work's a little bit closer, so I do occasionally manage to get in before work. Take trips down to Cornwall, and last weekend I went up to the Wave in Bristol, which is an inland surfing wave, and managed to do a couple of sessions up there. So what I've learned about myself from that, I'm hoping to explain through these videos, and then look at the things that I might be able to do whilst I'm away from the water to improve my surfing. Now, we're all probably a little bit strapped for time, especially if you're like me, 42 years old with some kids. There's not an awful lot of time to fit in something, a bit of self-improvement and certainly a bit of surf improvement. So I'm trying to keep it to an absolute bare minimum what I do, so I can fit it in with my life and my day-to-day stuff I've got to do, which is work, the kids, cleaning, shopping, all the rest of it. So what is it I can do with, say, half an hour, maybe a little bit more time every day to help improve my surfing and make every time I go surfing a better experience, more fun, more enjoyable overall. So I'm going to delve into the video now. Hope you enjoy it. There's a little bit of information, but it's mainly about me looking at what I'm doing wrong. Maybe you're doing the same things wrong or similar things wrong, and then showing you some reasonably easy ways to hopefully improve your surfing. You'll have to excuse the mediocre surf skating. I'm not particularly good at the moment, however, I can completely see the value of it. And then you'll see the other things I'm going to do that should help improve my surfing. In a few weeks' time, going back up to the Wave, so I'll make another video, hopefully with some videos of me surfing better because of these things I've done. But please add some comments if you think there's things that I could be doing differently, or if there's things that you felt are really helpful with minimal time to improve your surfing away from the sea. Thank you. So let's delve into video number 1. And this video has come about after I went up to the Wave in Bristol, which is a inland surfing wave. I'm fortunate enough to live about an hour and a half away from. Pretty cool place to go surfing. I've really enjoyed the day I went up there. Things I've learned from it are my paddling is shit. I need to get a lot better at paddling because it is tiring doing an hour surfing up there. Secondly to that, I think everything I do is a little bit slow and a bit mediocre. And you'll see that in the videos coming up. But fortunately, at the Wave, they video every single wave you ever catch. So you can download your videos and then see how amazing, or in my case, how rubbish my surfing is. And that's given me the idea for these videos, really, because I'm starting to see what I've been reading online in my surfing. A lot of stuff around where the wave's power is and how you want to turn your board on rail to access the wave's power properly. And I can see I'm not doing that very well in the videos. So for this first video, what I wanted to do was break down 4 different aspects of my surfing, which I'm then going to go and try and improve using those things I can do whilst I'm not surfing. And in particular, that's going to be this pop-up board that I've made, which I'll show you in the video in a bit, using my surf skate out in the street and trying to use that to get a bit more turny. And finally, the good old paddle bands and some gym exercises that I use and will use to try and improve my paddling, because I think that's so important when it comes to not just surfing the wave, but doing whilst you're not getting the opportunity to be in the sea surfing all the time. So let's start with pop-up and paddling. So In order to get into a wave quickly, you need to paddle really hard. So paddle training is so important. If you watch this first pop-up, you can see I'm not accessing the top of the wave, and that's partly because my pop-up's slow and my paddling's not hard enough. Going into this second wave, you can see a very similar thing is happening. So if you're like me and your pop-up is a bit slow and your paddling probably needs a bit of work, what are the things that you can do away from the sea and actually surfing to improve those aspects of your surfing and therefore make sure you have a better time next time you actually get in the sea and have a good surf? Well, I'm going to start with the paddling and the use of paddle bands at home and some gym exercises you can do to improve your shoulder strength, your shoulder mobility, which I think is really important because especially getting older, flexibility becomes an issue. And I'm of a firm belief that the flexibility in my shoulders, so how far I can pull them back, which directions they'll go in properly these days, seems to have been impacted upon, and I think actually makes me tire when I'm paddling a lot sooner than I should do. So it's a combination of strength exercises, flexibility, so stretching, and those all-important paddle bands I'm going to use to try and improve my paddling. Second to that, it's the pop-up. And this is something that I know an awful lot of surfers like me struggle with, especially if you're not getting in the sea all the time. Your pop-up needs to be fluid, it needs to be fast with the intention to get into your feet soon, so you get up at the top of that wave and allow you to access that wave and run down the face of it, giving you the maximum amount of speed in order to perform your first turn. So I'm going to be using my pop-up board in this video to show you how I plan on improving my pop-up. So here we go. Pop-up board and paddle bands. I made the pop-up board myself. It's got a rocker on the bottom of it. Took me about half an hour to chop up the bits of wood and then stick an old yoga mat on the top. And I'm going to use these two items to try and improve my pop-up, improve my paddling before I go back to the wave and see what's happened. Before we get into the pop-up and the paddling, here's a simple stretch that I'm planning on doing every day. Stand in the doorway, twist your body away from your arm. You feel the stretch in your chest and your back. Certainly if you're like me and you're down the gym quite a lot, then your chest certainly seems to pull a lot and get in the way of your paddling. So I think this is a really important thing to be doing every day. I'm sure there's loads more you can do, but this is the one I'm going to do for the next week. So next up is paddle bands. I'm going to plan on doing this for 15 minutes a day. Again, if you're like me and you're a bit short of time, this is something I'm going to do when the kids go to bed. Get the paddle bands up, 15 minutes with some rests in between, probably every 5 minutes, and see whether this improves my surfing at the wave. Right, and here's the final of the 3 things I'm going to try and do to improve my surfing over the next week before I go back to the wave. This is using that pop-up board I showed you earlier and just practicing popping up and keeping low as if you're going into a bottom turn. So I'm just going to keep doing this and trying to get faster and faster at my pop-up and trying to get that front foot down a bit quicker. So the next thing I want to improve about my surfing at the wave is my bottom turn, which is obviously an important manoeuvre in surfing. Here at the wave, that first turn usually results in a cutback, so you don't want to be going too steep, and that's what I've been trying to do out onto the shoulder, as you can see in this video. So this is me on my surf skate, just in the backyard. Just put a bottle down on the floor, and all I'm trying to do is compress and then spring up off of the surf skate around the bottle to imitate me doing a bottom turn. As you can see from this, I'm not particularly great on the surf skate, but I'm enjoying it. And I think the main thing that you've got to take from this, if you're like me, is you're just trying to build a bit of that muscle memory. And here's the final bit of the video today. So this is the cutback. So at the wave, the first manoeuvre in intermediate and advanced is a cutback. And you can see from these videos, my cutback's not great. I'm not looking where I'm going back towards the foam. In the first one, the second one, I'm doing a little bit better and I'm looking back, but then I lose a bit of balance as I turn back around. Using the surf skate, you can imitate a cutback. It's pretty difficult, In that first one, do all right. Second one, get my arm a bit higher. I'm looking where I'm going, turn around nicer, and then swing back round. And then by the third one, here we are, low, arm round, looking where I'm going. So that's the end of the video. Hope you've enjoyed it and it's been a little bit informative. Hopefully you might find yourself in a similar position to me, not being the greatest of surfers and trying to think of ways in which you can improve your surfing. Cut through all the thousands of videos that you find on Instagram of people that are absolutely amazing at surfing or amazing at surf skating. Well, I'm none of them, but I'm enjoying the process of learning something a little bit new, trying a few things out that might improve my surfing in the long run. So look forward to seeing you next time, hopefully with a video of me surfing slightly better than I was before, but if not, keep surfing and enjoy yourself, and see you next time.